This is another New Black World Order TV Productions.
Yeah.
What's good?
Hey, how you doing today?
All
man?
right.
Yeah.
Yo, we chopping it up today. What's happening?
Yeah, I was looking at your video this morning.
Oh yeah, I was quite animated.
Man, you went in.
Yeah,
man. I know you upset a lot of the Hebrew Israelites.
Right. It's all love.
Yeah.
It's all love.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
even they say
Yes.
the Most High loved those whom He chastised.
Yes.
And so that chastisement was done strictly out of love.
Yes. Just the same thing that I was sharing the whole time I was building with them. And, you know, so, I mean, you asked me a question about the Nephalims, because I believe that they said that they were the Nephalims.
In Genesis chapter 6.
Yeah, Genesis chapter 6,
He said,
verse 4.
so TALAH, AMUN, since you like to quote the Bible,
Yes.
you think you know that Bible.
Yes.
So he said, I'm going to take you to Genesis.
Yes.
And OZIAS, the one that's supposed to bring that knowledge,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The one that was supposed to bring some sandwiches,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Well,
he needs to show us.
yeah, because he's definitely mistaken about the Israelites being the Nephilims. In Revelation 12, verse 9, it talks about a war between Michael and his angels who fought the dragon and his angels.
Right.
And Michael defeated the dragon and his angels, and they were cast out into the earth. They were cast down into the earth. That old serpent called the devil and Satan. That's what it literally says in Revelation 12:9. So then Genesis picks up in 6:4, which is why they come with the word Nephilim. They said the sons of God, but in Hebrew it's Nephilim. The root of Nephilim is Nephal, which means to fall, which collaborates with Revelation 12 verse 9, because they fell from grace or heaven down into the earth. And these Nephalims, who are also called the sons of God, which some commentators say that they were talking about the children of these sons of God, which they call Nephalims, but it's not the children of the sons of God. It is actually the fallen angel. The Nephalims are the fallen angel, the initial, and their offspring, because they will be considered that as well.
One would be Bani or Bain Elohim.
Bain Elohim, Bain meaning son.
Right.
Son Elohim, that's right. So these beings in Genesis 6:4 it picks up and says that these Nephilims, they called them giants in the earth in those days. These Nephilims, these giants, they went into the daughters of men. When you say went into the daughters of men, you're talking about have sex, because it collaborates with the next sentence that they bore children.
They breed it.
They breed it.
Intercourse.
They had sexual intercourse, the sons of God, which destroys the theory of the only begotten son, because it's clearly marked S-O-N-S of God. So this is a plural we're talking about.
And they're negative.
Huh?
They're disagreeable.
Yeah, these particular sets of sons of God are very negative, and they rape the daughters of men. They said they took all which they took.
But OZIAS said that that's the children of Israel.
It couldn't have been the children of Israel, because unless he's trying to say that children of Israel is the devil, the old serpent that started in heaven. You know, he was a good angel, then he got bad.
I was trying to find out.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find out.
If he's saying that,
what the hell is OZIAS?
Which is partially true. Beyond his understanding, his limited understanding, it would be true, because even according to the story, because these Nephilims went into the daughters of men and bore children, and they bore children, and they bore children, and this mixture, this breeding, this interbreeding between these fallen angels and the daughters of men, the evolutionary beings that were automatically naturally evolving on this planet, this produced what you see now, everybody here, which is why you see agreeable and disagreeable on all these different species.
That the flood wiped them out.
But the flood didn't wipe them all out, because Noah's family was saved.
And David fought Goliath.
And David fought Goliath, who was also a giant.
So why didn't David unite with Goliath if they the same people?
Why didn't David? Because
unite with Goliath if they were the same people.
The nature of the Nephilims is very disagreeable.
That ain't what OZIAS said. He said they're the same being.
Yeah, well, he's mistaken, highly mistaken.
So is he teaching a false doctrine?
Oh, it's definitely false.
No, you didn't say that.
Oh, yes. It's
oh, no, you didn't say OZIAS teaching a false doctrine.
It's because he's just ignorant to the truth. It's not personal. He just don't know. But like he told me specifically that time I was here, you can't teach us anything.
That's what he said.
I didn't come to teach him. I came to point out something that was always here.
And you always said that.
Yeah, that's all I said. But now it's turned into a teaching thing.
So now you're going to
I can teach you now.
Right.
I was trying to just show you your divinity.
You straight sunning them now, right?
Oh, hey, if that's what it's called, then that's what it is. Because, hey, I possess the information as well as the outformation.
So
because
you are
I'm one
the
of those
informer.
sons of God. Because there was another set of sons of God in Genesis 6:4. There are two sets of sons of God to balance out the negative children.
And
there
the
were
positive.
Michael and his angels that came down, and it says they went into the daughters of men.
So he might
They
have
didn't
mentioned
take
he
it.
was the positive sons of God, but he pointed to a scripture that was clearly defining negative
It has
sons.
nothing to do. Yes, exactly. He went to the negative ones, but there is a positive one. But he would also have to say, if he's saying that he is a product of those, or the Israelites is a product of those agreeable sons of God who had also had sex with the daughters of men to create the balance of positive and negative on this planet, then if you're saying you're a child of that, I agree with you. I agree with that. But you're going to have to say that you are an angel. You're going to have to go back to what I'm telling you in my book called HOTEP, the Cure for Humanity. You're going to have to go back to that you are God. That's the bottom line. Because if you're a son of God, then you must be God too. So that's what, if you want to say that, I'm with you. But if you try, I know you're going to run because you're hard-headed. You don't want to accept the truth. Because you're looking at me as somebody that's on your level or beneath you when I've been raised way above you. In consciousness.
There you go, sonning him again.
It's just the way it is,
so
man.
Is he teaching a false
But it doesn't mean that you can't raise up as well, because the truth is here and has always been here, and it's in you. It's in you. I'm here to unlock the code for you. But if you reject the spirit of truth, then that's your damnation.
Or too afraid to show up to that controlled environment.
Yeah, he can't, unless he squashes his ego, humble his ego, he will never show up because he know he can't deal with this type of information. So, but if he can humble himself and come as an open vessel so that we can create dialogue in love and peace because we want to establish truth, then he'll come. But until that day, that's his problem. And all of you who listen to him and follow him are going right to hell, the hell of your own mind.
So are you saying that OZIAS is misleading Jimmy and the rest of those guys with him?
Well, I don't know these guys' names.
Okay, but the ones that's out at the camp.
If OZIAS is their leader, they are. They also are listening to this message. And they know that I speak the truth. In their spirit, in their soul, they can tell that I speak truth. But their ego and their desire to be a part of something, a group of things, because that's the ego. When you're limited in your awareness, you want to belong to a group, especially in this day and time with all the chaos. So you need a posse, you need a gang. You know, that's how gangs are formed. That's how posses are formed. Because you need to belong to something. When you come to this level, you got to stand as God. You're going to have to stand alone. You know what I'm saying? Until you find one that is also alone, and then you merge, and then you become one with the Most High. It's not you and the Most High. You become one. And being the Most High does magic tricks. This is not a magic thing. This is just awareness, a conscious thing, an embracing thing that all is a part of.
But I just want to know, if he's describing himself as the beings, those beings, those negative beings, right? In Genesis chapter 6, then doesn't that change his nationality from Israelite to something else?
It would have to, because it would have to, because the Hebrew Israelite, Hebrew comes from the word Ibri. The Hebrew word is Ibri.
And
it means to cross over. That's all it means. It means to cross over. They crossed over the Tigris and Euphrates River. If you're not speaking the language, brother, and you calling yourself these words, you don't know what you're saying. If you ain't speaking the language, you don't know what's happening. So you just believing. And belief means to accept things that you're not sure of. But you making it as a fact that you are a Hebrew Israelite, and the Hebrew is not even a nationality. It's an action. It's a verb. You can't be
Israelite is a nationality.
Israelite is not even a nationality. Israelite, when you break down the word Israelite, you got a triad. You got ISIS, I-S, Ra, R-A, and L. This is a triad of deities, human deities, that have been put together in a word to describe your divinity. But you don't want to accept your divinity.
They say Israel means prince of the palace.
It doesn't. Not in the original language. I told you they don't know the language. They don't know. They ain't went back far enough.
So you saying
you gotta go back far enough.
Just can't rely on the English script. You're going to have to know.
You'll be in a spell if you rely on the English script.
Because English is a dead language?
It's a dead language. It's an Anglo-Saxon
Even though it's being spoken by living beings on the planet.
That's because it was forced to our ancestors. We was forced. We was kidnapped. Taken, our language was taken away. Our culture was taken away. Our gods was taken away, and it was replaced with a foreign god and a foreign culture and a foreign religion. So we didn't worship. We were that which was worship. We walked and talked with God. If you look at the story of Adam, Adam was in the garden walking and talking with God. The fall, the first time you see anything about praying is when the birth of Enos, which means forgetful human being. Once you know the language, the code is broken. Right. So the word Seth, when Cain kills Abel, the son that was replaced Cain is called Seth. Seth means replacement. It means replacement. So all the names are titles that mean something. But because you ain't dig deep enough, you ain't did your homework. You ain't do your homework. See, I did my homework, so I know what these names mean. Enos means forgetful human being. And then it says man began to call upon the name of the Lord. Right. That's the first time that you see anybody praying. Prior to that, we were the gods walking in the garden. Adam was in the image and after likeness of God. He was a part of the Elohim.
So the Elohim,
but he fell from grace
is negative,
he fell from consciousness
and positive.
Oh, yes.
So the negative Elohim would be considered the Nephilim.
Yes. Or the cherub. Yeah, they call them also cherubim.
And I'm trying to figure out why would OZIAS attach himself to the Nephilim? Did he really know what he was talking? I don't think
no, he don't know. But you know, maybe the Nephalims is telepathically controlling his mind.
So you saying that he probably has been possessed?
It could
and
be.
Don't know it.
It could be.
Repent, OZIAS.
Yes, it could be. It could be. You know what I mean? If he don't humble himself, then it's definitely a possession.
We'll call him to repentance.
Because I've watched him when I'm confronting him, he really won't look at me. He will look this way and this way to the different readers to the right and left, and he won't stay quiet enough so we can have dialogue. That is the disagreeable nature of because you know the truth is about to come, so you got to keep running your mouth so nobody, you don't.
It's called red herring. It's called deflected.
Oh man, it's
called
sad.
Buck
It really is sad. Y'all better wake up, man. We ain't got no time for playing no more. Time is an illusion. I can teach you about time too. But
so again,
you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
The Most High made a distinction between the children of Israel and surrounding nations. Yeah. And the Most High specifically made a distinction between the Israelites and the Egyptians.
Oh yeah.
And he began to describe the physical aspects of the Egyptians in comparison to the Israelites, because those people were what? Procreated with the Nephilim. And it changed the way they physically what? Look. It made them giants, according to the narrative.
According to the narrative.
According to the narrative, right? According to the narrative, according to the biblical story, it said that it changed the daughters of men's physiology.
Well, you got a different gene coming in. You got a divine gene coming in.
That's what I'm trying to tell them. Is
Look at people like you know, the big basketball players. You got 7 feet.
Manute Bol.
You got these giants in the earth, man.
From Sudan.
You got some people,
That's the Dinka tribe.
There's a whole bunch of giants in the earth right now. That's a whole nother gene, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother gene. That's not, your average height man is like 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about 7'2", 7'5".
What is it, Ezekiel chapter 16 where he explained that?
Yeah. Is it there?
Ezekiel chapter 16, where he explained that the Israelite woman was a whore, a slut.
Really?
Right? Yeah, she was a jump off, right? Yeah. Israel was a fucking jump off.
Yeah.
Sluts, whores that lusted after the Egyptians because of the size of their penises.
Where is that scripture?
That's in Ezekiel chapter 16.
Okay.
Pacific verse, but I know the Israelites know exactly what I'm talking about. So now,
then God is comparing.
He's comparing genital organs and sizes, right?
Not too many people know that's in there.
It's in Ezekiel.
The preachers ain't gonna preach that.
So when that Israelite woman came back,
she was converted.
She wanted that.
Yeah, she converted.
And so therefore they hated the Egyptians for that reason. They try to say there's other reasons.
Yeah, but it was because of that. That's why we wore the apron, you know,
to cover up
the phallus.
Right.
Because even today the oppressor is jealous of your penis size, and which is
the oppressor, or is it the writer of the Bible? Because the writer of the Bible, it seems to me that if your daughter was in promiscuous behaviors and she was a whore, I'm talking to her about stopping the whoredom, not about the size of the dinglings that she's tricking with. And so this obsession that the writer or the God of the Bible has with the sexual genitals of the Egyptian people,
some deep stuff.
It appears to be a man whose ego, based upon his size of sexual organs, has been hurt and wounded.
That's deep. Yeah.
So therefore, why was we castrated? Why was we castrated in slavery?
Yeah,
they was afraid that goddamn girl was going to jump on that pipe again.
And they still are. That's why they don't want interracial relationship.
Right. So is that the reason why the black Israelites don't want their women to associate with the HOTEPians?
The who? The who?
Is that the reason why the black Israelites don't want their woman to associate with the HOTEP?
They don't want the HOTEP family.
Because that hoe gonna start not tapping but tipping back over there again.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, but there God described that.
Yeah,
it's in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16.
You should ask yourself why.
Then it's repeated again in the 23rd verse.
Wow.
I think verse 20.
Yes.
Or is it the 20th verse, verse 23? Either one, but I'll put the scriptures up in this video.
Yeah, good.
And I want them to explain. Well, if you are a part of the Nephilim, and the Nephilim, according to the narrative, mixed their seed with all of the surrounding nations except Israel, and the Most High told you not to associate with those nations because of that gene coming from those Nephilims, how the hell could y'all be the same people? Why didn't David embrace Goliath rather than killing him? Why didn't he just go back to the village where he had some more giants there? I thought all of them died in the flood, but they didn't.
That's it.
And maybe they stayed alive because the Israelite women.
Flood story, and you talking stories, man. This is why I had to come with HOTEP, the cure for humanity, because all that nonsense can be exposed.
Right.
You know, you talking about the flood of the planet and all that, and Noah, and say when you can't even find the word Noah in ancient Egypt going into Egypt freeing no Israel. You can't find that in their archives. You can't go in their books. You might find it in the Bible, but you can't go actually, because every place have a record of archives.
They're gonna be Thutmoses.
Yeah, you'll find Thutmose
in the 12th dynasty.
The root of the word Moses is Mose and Thutmose, and that means to draw forth from the water.
The word Moses is not even a Hebrew word.
No, it's not. It's not, man. It's not.
And Elijah was a Tishbite. Was he an Israelite or a Tishbite?
Elijah? I'm not sure.
Said he was a
These are all stories. These are not even truths. These are, I call it relative truth. I talked about in HOTEP, the cure for man, 3 abodes: Nasut, Malakut, and Lahut. These are the Nasut is the physical realm, Malakut is the angelic realm, and Lahut is the realm of the Most High. All the 2 lower realms are realms of duality. The realm of the Most High is one. You're supposed to be striving, and you are, whether you're conscious of it or not, are being raised through these planes of existence, the physical, the spiritual, and then the absolute reality.
Right.
You know
in the Most High in the Bible say separate yourself.
You have to separate. You can say come out of them.
But if you're gonna say you the Nephilim,
well, you can say that.
How you gonna separate?
But that ain't
according to their story.
But at least that's a level of Malakut. That's a little bit above Nasut. But I know that's not what he meant. He's still stuck in the physical dimension.
Right.
So we just tried to make truth out of what you was trying to say. That's what we're trying to do.
Before we go out, and this one last repeated question again. Is OZIAS teaching a false, crooked, mixed up doctrine?
Not just OZIAS. Every single Hebrew, everyone who claims to be a Hebrew Israelite is teaching.
Because you know some Israelites don't accept that they are the beings in Genesis chapter 6.
Yeah, but you're not a Hebrew Israelite either, as we have already showed you. We're telling you, you don't know who you are. You think you can't pull up a Bible, a body of Jacob to test the blood. You can't. You could be an Esau-like.
All we need is a sample, right? All we need is a sample of genetic tissue.
Yeah, why you can't escape genealogy. This is Genesis.
If we had the body, we might can take a Q-tip sample, rub the gums or something.
Piece of hair, swab in the mouth.
Swab in the mouth.
At least prove
but without a body?
Yeah, all of you guys all claiming to be Hebrew Israelites, you ain't did no genetic testing. You can't, because you don't have no bodies. People are characters. It's a story. Yeah. The greatest story ever told.
I can take genetics off my body, but I wouldn't have no other body to match it to.
Yes. Yes. I mean, then you're going to find a match. But it ain't going to go back to
But then the Genesis chapter 16 thing clearly separates the 2 people.
And so
Genesis chapter 16 say one group, the Egyptians, is well endowed.
Oh, yeah.
They hung. Right? Which lets us know that the Israelite man is the opposite of that.
Well, I mean, that could be an interpretation.
Right, that could
be an interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, well,
we know what that is.
Yeah, well.
When your old lady step out on you and a nigga went up in her bigger than you, you can't ignore the fact that you feel something different.
Hey.
And so we know that a human being wrote that. Yeah. Because an omnipotent, omnipresent being wouldn't even be concerned with that.
Like that. That's why we said every time you see the word God, they're not talking about the Most High.
They're talking about those beings.
Yeah, who wrote your book.
Who could be.
And they wrote your book.
And they wrote that book.
Yeah, they wrote that book.
Black Fowl.
Black Fowl.
HOTEP.
HOTEP.
Raubet.
Wadu.
Wadu.